Hi everyone, we are Group 4 and we're excited to present to you our topic, management and planning. We did our best to make it simple, easy to understand, and even a little fun. So sit back, listen closely, and hopefully by the end of this report, you learn something useful. Let's get started. Management in general and planning function. The security executive is no longer a private practitioner who impresses people with his courageous deeds, skills in apprehending criminals, or expertise in handling weapons. Rather, he is a modern manager entrusted with a twin task of protecting corporate assets and ensuring that business interruptions, if at all, are kept to the minimum. So, this report remains that a security executive today is not just someone who catches criminals or uses weapons, but a manager who handled planning, organization, and risk prevention. A modern security manager is responsible for protecting company asset and preventing business interruption. These goals is to predict and manage risks before they become serious problem. Example, imagine a security manager working for a shopping mall. Instead of personally catching thieves, he planned the placement of CCTV cameras, create emergency evacuation plans, trains guard and predict possible risks like fire or thief to prevent them before they happen. So the manager is more focused on management and prevention, not just reaction. In fact, his most challenging role is to predict the opportunities to manageable proportion. In this role, he is backed by his years and years of technical expertise as well as the seasoning and sensitivity that come with long years of exposure in the field. So, the most challenging part of the security executive job is to predict opportunities and threats and manage them properly. Example, a company is opening a new branch in a risky areas. The security manager studies crime rates, designs stronger security system, and hires trained guards ahead of time. By doing this, he prevents future problems before they occur. In security, as in other fields, the manager's major concern is getting things done. The manager uses management techniques in getting things done and is familiar with the following element managements: planning, financing, organizing, staffing, training and professional development, and also the communication. In the second part, it says that just like in other field, the security manager's main job is to get things done efficiently through the use of management techniques. There are six types of elements management. First, planning, setting goals and deciding how to achieve them. Example, creating a security plan for an upcoming concert or problem. Second, financing, managing the budget and resources. Example, allocating fund for new surveillance equipment. Third is organizing, assigning tasks and arranging people or system. Example, dividing security personnel into patrol teams. Fourth is staffing, hiring and placing the right people in the right roles. Example, recruiting qualified security guards and supervisor. And the fifth one is training and professional development, enhancing employee skills. Like, for example, conducting a fire drills or self defense seminars for staff. And the last one is communication, sharing information clearly across the team. Example, giving clear instructions or updating guard through radios. Security management and cost effectiveness. Cost effectiveness means spending the least possible amount consistent with required result and at the same time, assuring that each item of expenses is fully justified as the best available way to commit the funds. Akin to profit center orientation with which it is closely aligned, cost effectiveness in security management definitely enhances the profitability of a business enterprise. Cost effectiveness is about using resources wisely. It doesn't mean being cheap, but rather ensuring that every peso or dollar spent give the best possible result. And security, this means balancing cost and protection, spending enough to keep the organization safe, but not wasting money on unnecessary measures. When cost effectiveness is applied properly, it helps the organization save money and increase profit while still keeping operations secure. Example, a company wants to improve its building security. They have two options. First, hires 10 additional guard, which will cost a lot of money every month. And the second option is while installing a modern CCTV system with motion sensors, which cost less in the long run and provide 24/7 coverage. After analyzing both, the company decided to install the CCTV system because it gave the same or better level of proportion and it saved money over time. This decision is cost effective security management, achieving strong protection at the lowest reasonable cost. Security planning. Planning is the key factor in the successful management of security program. A management expert defines planning as a predetermining a course of action. Another define it as deciding in advance what to do, how to do it, and who should do it. Okay, it involved determining a course of action and deciding in advance what to do, how to do it, and who should do it. Because planning is essential for the successful management of a security program. Example, a company decided to implement a new data protection policy. Planning involves identifying the types of data to protected. The method of protections like encryption, access control, the person responsible for implementation, and the timeline for completion. It is necessary for a security executive to plan. The alternative is obviously to react events that have already occurred or trying to solve problems that could have been avoided in the first place. Because security executives need to plan to avoid reacting to events that have been already occurred or trying to solve problems that could have been avoided. Example, instead for waiting for data breach to occur, a security executive plans by conducting regular risk assessment, implementing security measures, and training employees to recognize and report potential threats. The first requirement in planning is to identify the overall objective and purpose of the organization. Afterward, the executive may start his own planning, which could be objective and support the organization's goals. Because the first requirements in planning is to identify the overall objective and purpose of the organization. The executive's planning should be objective and support the organizational goals. Example, an organization objective is to protect its intellectual property. The security executive plans by implementing measures to prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data and ensuring the that these measures align with the organization's business objective. One method of security planning is to create an overall blueprint for security program based on the identified vulnerabilities or the risk of vulnerability assessment. As creating a comprehensive blueprint for the security program based on identified vulnerabilities, this involves assessing potential weaknesses and designing a structured plan to address them. Example, a company identifies that its customer data is vulnerable to cyber attacks. The blueprint would outline steps to enhance data encryption and conduct security audit. Another method is to write several plans such as comprehensive emergency plan covering various anticipate contingencies and various operational plan, Policies, standard ARA procedures. Still another way is the use of action plan showing the three columns. The first column identifies the plan activities. The second column identifies the action officer involved, while the third column shows the time frame. Using action plan with three columns to track plan activities, identify responsible action officers, and specify time frames. This structure approach ensure responsibility and timely execution of security measures. Example, an IT department create an action plan to upgrade its network security. The first column lists the planned activities, such as installing new firewalls and updating activity. Using action plan with a three column to track plan activities, identify responsible action officer, and specify time frames. This structure approach ensure responsibility and timely execution of security measures. Example, an IT department create an action plan to upgrade its network security. The first column lists the planned activities, such as installing new firewall and updating antivirus software. The second column identifies the action officer responsible for each task, such as network administrator and security specialist. And the third column specify the time frame for completing each activity, such as within 1 week or by the end of the month. Development of security policies. A policy is a broad guide to management decision making in a situation of a repetitive nature. Purpose is to orient make toward the organization ultimate objectives. Hence, a policy should reflect the objectives and be flexible and sufficient broad enough to the applicable to changing conditions. Because a policy serves as a general guideline for management when making decisions. It is applied in situations are repetitive or recurring. The purpose is to align action with the organization goals, and a policy should reflect objectives, be flexible, and be broad enough to apply to a changing condition. Like for example, a company implements a policy that all employees must change their password every 90 days. This policy guides the IT department in enforcing password security and help protect company data. This policy is in place because data breaches are a recurring threat. Because security policies vary from one organization to another. Beyond basic moral standard, there is a little commodality in security policies across different organizations. It's difficult to suggest standard policies that would apply to all organizations. Like for example, a hospital security policy will heavily emphasize patient data, privacy, and physical security of medical equipment, while a software company might focus more on protecting intellectual property and preventing cyber attacks.